Yo, what is going on, everyone? My name is Nick, or the Notorious Fantasy. And in today's video, I'm bringing you guys a 2021 fantasy football video where I'm going to talk about my must-own mid-round wide receivers for fantasy football in 2021. Inside this video, we're going to talk about rounds 4 through 6, and I'm going to give you one wide receiver per round that I really am going to be targeting in my 2021 fantasy football drafts. Now, obviously, right now, we're chilling in April. The NFL draft has yet to happen. Injuries have yet to occur, so the difference between the video now that you get about mid-round wide receivers is going to be much different to the video you get in August, but it's good to do these thought exercises early to get you guys my early opinions on these players, and I overall think these are very fun videos to make. So if you do end up enjoying and you are new, please make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Not only is it free, I put out content every single day to help you guys win your 2021 fantasy football leagues, and as well as I like to post a lot of content on the NFL draft, as well as the NFL as a whole. If a big trade happens, if a big free agency signing happens, I make sure to always post a video about it. So without further ado, let's get into it. We begin with round numero 4, and in round number 4, based upon current ADP, it begins with Mike Evans, followed by Robert Woods, J.K. Dobbins, Josh Allen, DJ Moore, Kenny Golladay, Josh Jacobs, Deontay Johnson, Cooper Kupp, David Montgomery, Adam Thielen, and Mark Andrews. I actually like a decent amount of wide receivers in this round. I don't necessarily see any of these guys being extreme busts. While I may not like them as much as other players, I think round 4, there are some decently safe wide receivers in here, but the one that I'm going to dub as must-own, must-draft wide receivers in the middle round in round number 4 is going to be Bobby Trees, Robert Woods of the Los Angeles Rams, wide receiver 17 off the board as of right now. Currently, ADP is overall 38. In 16 games last season, he finished as the wide receiver 12 in PPR, wide receiver 13 half PPR, and wide receiver 13 in standard, averaging 15.3 PPR points per game, 12.5 half PPR points per game, and 9.7 standard points per game. Meaning, on a points per game basis, he was wide receiver 19 in PPR, 19 in half PPR, and 19 in standard. Now, while I bring up the discrepancy between overall finish on the season and points per game finish is because if you play 16 games, your numbers are going to be elevated. They're going to be pumped up like them kids because of the fact that they played 16 games. Some wide receivers are only playing 12 games, but the points per game basis numbers tell you about how they actually are on a week in, week out standpoint. While he wasn't necessarily a top 12 guy week in, week out, he was very reliable, finishing top 19 in all categories on a points per game basis. Now, Mr. Robert Woods, the 6-foot-tall man out of USC, is currently 29 years old, and he got a new quarterback who moseyed into town. And his name is not John Cena. It is actually Matty Snapback, formerly of the Detroit Lions. Now, last season, Robert Woods, even with Jared Goff, who a lot of people toss a lot of hate around. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of Jared Goff, but I actually think that he gets a little too much hate for how talented of a player he is. But I digress. Obviously, Matthew Stafford is a big step up. In targets, he had 130 targets last season, ranking 12th at the wide receiver position for a grand total of 90 receptions, 5.6 per game, ranking 11th at wide receiver, 935 receiving yards, 22nd at wide receiver, and 8 total tugs, 13th at wide receiver. He was a very solid player last year with not the best of quarterbacks. Again, not necessarily that Goff is bad. Goff also did end up getting hurt. There were a couple of games where Goff did not end up playing. But overall, Robert Woods really ate in a very solid situation. But in my opinion, in 2021, the situation has only gotten better. It's only gotten bigger. Like when fucking Mike the Situation goes to the GTL, the Gym Tan Laundry, he's getting bigger. That's the joke there, even though it probably wasn't very funny. But I just believe with the addition of Matthew Stafford, I am so sold in on all these LA Rams players. Stafford, Woods, Kupp. I think all of them are going to be good. I understand that Kupp was also in this list of 4th round players, but I don't like Kupp as much as I like Robert Woods. He had the 16th highest snap share at the wide receiver position last year, 23.0% target share of that Rams offense last year, and I do understand that, hey, Kupp is still going to get his, blah, 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 blah. It does not really matter at the end of the day. Even with a strong defense, they're going to be getting into these big games in their division, these big games overall where Stafford is going to step up and make Robert Woods look even better than he did last season. I really think Robert Woods is going to take another step up, even though He's one of the better wide receivers in the NFL, in my opinion. I love his ADP inside of the 4th round. It seems like an automatic draft, in my opinion, every time in the 4th round. Now, again, that doesn't mean that I'm going to draft him every single time. It means that when I'm looking at him there, I'm like, damn, I really want to pick him. Obviously, if you're playing in a bunch of leagues, you want to diversify the revenue, as they say, which means that you want to pick different guys every single time that you like, because there's a chance that they get injured, or a chance that you like a guy and they completely fucking suck, which there's nothing wrong with that. That happens every single year. You're not going to be right on every single pick, but I really do like Robert Woods. Now, I will give you guys some honorary mentions, some honorable mentions inside of this round that I really like. Again, I kind of like all of them. I think DJ Moore could take a not even a big step up, because he played really good last season, low-key very good. With Sam Darnold, I think it could get even better in Carolina. I also, like I said, like Cooper Kupp. I'm a big Deontay Johnson fan. Adam Thielen, I'm not too sold in on. I feel kind of 50-50 on that guy. Like, I think he could be good. He's always good. So I don't know what in my brain is telling me. Like, the devil on my shoulders telling me, Nick, fucking Adam Thielen's not going to be good. I don't know. He probably will end up being fine and just being an average 4th round draft pick. So, obviously, the honorable mention for this round, I'll just go with one. It's Deontay Johnson. I think he's really going to get better at gripping the football and playing much better without the drops. In round 5, we got Chris Carson, CeeDee Lamb, T.J. Hawkinson, Kyler Murray, T. Higgins, Brandon Ayuk, Kareem Hunt, Juju Smith-Schuster, Melvin Gordon, Lamar Jackson, Tyler Lockett, and Dickie Dak Prescott. Hopefully, I edited this onto the screen, probably directly on my face, so you don't have to look at me for a couple of seconds, and then I just appear back onto the screen. So T. Higgins is currently coming off the board as wide receiver number 24, overall pick number 53. Last year in his 16 games played as a rookie, he finished as wide receiver 28 in PPR, 30.5 PPR, and wide receiver number 28 in the standard format, averaging 12.2 PPR points per game, 10.1 half PPR points per game, and 8.1 standard points per game. On a points per game basis, he was wide receiver 40 in PPR, 39 in half PPR, and 37 in standard. So again, this one is much stronger than with Woods. We see a pump up of numbers, getting him to rank higher as a wide receiver finish based upon the fact that he played 16 games. Does that mean that T. Higgins is bad? No, because I want to dive into the numbers that really actually matter. Now, there is a chance that Mr. T. Higgins, sophomore, out of Clemson, second year in the NFL, is going to get absolutely bent over a table and skull-fucked repeatedly by the fact that they might end up drafting Ja'Marr Chase, Kyle Pitts. Something like that may take his production down. Okay? But there's also the chance that doesn't happen. So I'm going to go under the assumption that they draft Penny Sewell in the first round, because if they don't, Joey B might end up passing away behind the offensive line. So we need to learn about what the difference was with Mr. T. Higgins and Joe Burrow versus T. Higgins and some Joe Schmo they found off the street to play quarterback for the team. So he played 6 games without Joe Burrow and 9 with. Put that together, you get 69. Very nice. I like. So in the 9 games with Joe Burrow versus 6 games without with Joe Burrow, he averages 12.36 half PPR points per game versus 8.65 without. That's a very strong difference. 14.74 PPR points per game with Joey B, 10.65 without. Again, a noticeable amount. 9.97 standard points per game versus 6.65 without. Obviously, very strong. Why is this? This is due to an increase in targets. 6 without Joe Burrow, 7.89 per game with Joe Burrow. 4 without Joe Burrow versus 4.78 receptions with Joe Burrow. The yards went up, 69.89 yards with Burrow versus 46.5 without, and 0.44 touchdowns per game versus 0.33 without. So overall, even with Joe Burrow not playing the best football, obviously, it's his rookie year, he's not going to play amazing. He still played pretty good. And now, you're getting Joe Burrow coming off the injury. He should be healthy and good to go, so I'm not really worried about that. And I think T. Higgins is in for a humongous season. He kind of broke out last year, right? The 6'4", 216-pound, 22-year-old out of Clemson basically had a breakout year. Now, it really it's really kind of determined by how you kind of think about a breakout season. Is a breakout year 1,000 yards? Is it 900 yards? Is it 1,200 yards? I don't know. Last year, he finished the year with 908 receiving yards, 26th most at the wide receiver position on 107 targets, 28th most with 67 receptions, 29th most at the wide receiver position, and 6 total tugs at the end of the season. So, why do I like T. Higgins so much? Again, it's due to the numbers with Joe Burrow, due to the fact that I think this team is going to look better in the second year under Joe Burrow, and due to the fact that I think they draft an offensive lineman to protect Joe Burrow. I'm in the pocket like Burrow, shout out Jack Harlow, and this man can actually stand back there. Read correctly, you know? Before, this guy couldn't fucking really make too many reads because he was worried about a huge man coming to steal his lunch money, to fuck him up, and now he's going to be good. He's going to be A-okay, hopefully. I love T. Higgins' upside in this offense again. Let's hope that the Cincinnati Bengals do a Dikembe no to Jamar Chase and instead select Sewell out of O-Tackle out of Oregon. So if you guys have ended up enjoying this video thus far, we're 10 minutes in, we're 10 minutes deep, we're balls deep in the video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already. And if you are already a subscriber, I love you, thank you very much. Please make sure to hit that like button down below. I'd really. Finally, we have round 6 that starts off with T. Higgins' friend, other Cincinnati Bengal wide receiver, Tyler, yeah, Boyd, followed by Chase Edmonds, Odell Beckham Jr., Noah Fant, DJ, Wiki, Chark, Myles Gaskin, Dallas Goedert, Aaron Rodgers, Will Fuller V, Cortland Sutton, Deshaun Watson, and Deebo Samuel. While there weren't as many wide receivers to pick from at this level, I'm going to go ahead and select Cortland Sutton as my must-own wide receiver of round number 6. Wide receiver 32 off the board right now. Overall, pick number 70. Cortland Sutton, last year, his numbers were so shit because he was hurt. Right? He was hurt. He played one game. So there was no need to really do some quick math to be like, oh, wide receiver number 1,762 in PPR, number 1,769 in standard. I understand there's not that many wide receivers in the NFL, but understand the numbers were obviously bad because he only played in one game. So, what's going to happen with Cortland Sutton? Cortland Sutton's humongous breakout season as a rookie was very good. But his potential to hit his third year with the 1-2 fucking Floyd Mayweather depends on a couple of things. The quarterback situation, that's one. Will it be Horsecock Drew Lock? Will it be Trey Lance? Is it going to be Mac Jones? Is it going to be Justin Fields? Who's it going to be? I don't know. But what I do know is that I believe in Cortland Sutton's talent. I believe in what I saw in 2019 enough to draft this 25-year-old wide receiver again, 6'3", 218 pounds out of SMU. I understand last year wasn't great because he got hurt, but I genuinely believe that this guy is going to be a menace and a steal in fantasy football leagues in 2021. In 2019, played 16 games, 126 targets, 15th most a wide receiver, 62 receptions, 20th most a wide receiver, 6 total touchdowns, 22nd most a wide receiver, and 1,112 yards. 1,112 yards. You heard that correctly. 17th most a wide receiver in his rookie year. Is that good? Is that good? You might ask yourself, is that good? Yes, that's very good. That is very, very good and very, very nice. Cortland Sutton is going to be good yet again. All you have to do is believe in the fact that his injury is gone. He ended up tearing his ACL in week 2 and an MCL. He tore both. He got the fucking 2-for-1 special. ACL and MCL, but he's going to be back and better than ever. I genuinely really believe in Cortland Sutton. I believe in what I've seen. There's not a lot of numbers to break down. There just isn't. Because the quarterback change may happen, but I still believe in Cortland Sutton. I think if you picked him last year, you might have some sour taste in your mouth, right? You might be a little pissed off, oh, he got hurt on me. Throw that aside. Throw last year's bias out. Throw the fact that this guy bent you over the table and fucked you over because he got hurt. It's not his fault that he got hurt. Obviously, he wanted to play the season. He didn't want to tear his ACL and MCL. So, believe in Cortland Sutton for 2021 with me, please. And let me know down below if there's different players you wanted to talk about here. Now, let me go back to round 5 and give you guys my honorable mentions. Again, round 5, Chris Carson, CeeDee Lamb, TJ Hawkinson, Kyler Murray, T. Higgins, Brandon Ayuk, Kareem Hunt, Juju Smith-Schuster, Melvin Gordon, Lamar Jackson, Tyler Lockett, and Dak Prescott. My honorable mention would be CeeDee Lamb. I'm thinking he's going to have a great second year in the NFL in round 6. Tyler Boyd, Chase Edmonds, Odell Beckham Jr., Noah Fant, DJ, Wiki, Chark, Myles Gaskin, Dallas Goedert, Aaron Rodgers, Will Fuller, Cortland Sutton, Deshaun Watson, and Deebo Samuel. My honorable mention will be Deebo, because I already talked about him in a video and how much I like him coming back from the injury, kind of a bit like Cortland Sutton in 2021. So thank you guys all so much for watching this video. If you did, again, end up enjoying, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. I would really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Friday and have a great fucking weekend. Let's get fired up. I love you guys all. Thank you for everything. We're approaching on 12,000 subscribers by the summer. We're going to smash all the way through all of the things, the goals I've set. I'm so sure of it. We're going to work hard, and we're going to have a great time. And I hope you guys all have fun every single day I make these videos. So, let me know down below if you guys had a great time, and leave down below. Word. Bronco. I'm not talking about the Ford Bronco OJ was driving around. I'm talking about Bronco like the horse, even though the Ford Bronco, I assume, was named about the horse. So have a great rest of your guys' day. I do love you guys all. Again, thank you guys for everything. I'll see you beautiful bastards Saturday morning with another heater. As always, guys, goodbye.